Hi, I'm Jeredth and I'm here with Mattina, the mosaic artist. Today I'm going to ask a couple questions to her. Mattina, what do you call this type of art?
So this is a mixed media mosaic piece that I'm doing for Berwyn.
Okay, what was the first art piece you have done?
The first art piece, you mean in my life?
Yeah.
That would have to go way back into my school days. It would have probably been a watercolor painting.
How long did it take you to finish this art piece?
This art piece?
Yep.
So this art piece is not complete yet. It's ongoing. So it's been several weeks since I started this, and I'm thinking that it might take a month or two to complete this entire wall.
Who inspired you to do this type of art?
So, it's not who, but what. So basically, it's inspired by nature, because you see a tree here. So it's basically inspired by nature, and also a lot of affirmations. It's honoring the heritage and history of the town.
Did you have to go to a particular school to learn this type of art?
I did not. So mosaics are something that I self-taught myself, but I am a trained artist. I went to school for fine art, and I'm a designer too, so I'm a skilled designer and artist. But mosaic art was something that I learned on my own.
Do you know how to do any other type of art?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm a mixed media artist. So just to explain that word, mixed media means a variety of media that you use in your art. So I actually use different kinds of media. I can use paint, I can use ceramics, I can use fiber, I can use paper, I use paint, glass, you name it. And I love including old items, like vintage items, like things like this, like pottery, old articles and objects and things like that you see here. I love mixing that with new items, so that's why it's called mixed media. So I include paint, I include different things together.
What is the most important piece of art you have done?
Most important would be my current body of work that I'm working on right now, and the theme is female empowerment. So basically, it's about uplifting the feminine gender. It's about all kinds of people from different backgrounds and their voices being heard. I'm doing that in a mixed media piece.
What advice could you give to somebody who wants to do your art?
You mean the mosaic art?
Yeah, the mosaic art. Or what advice would you give to someone?
So first of all, you got to be fearless, because you can get cut. I did the other day. Because you're dealing with a lot of sharp-edged, glass and pieces and that. So you can't be afraid of that. You have to be passionate for anything. So basically that was a joke, the first thing. But first and foremost thing, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, what you want to do, and you have to be ready to work hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
These were all my questions. Now passing the microphone to Avery.
Hello. Hey. All right. So I have a couple questions. Hopefully it won't take too long. But first of all, I'm wondering. You said that you went to school for art. Can you tell me a little bit about what your training was like for that?
Yeah, sure. So I went to school for fine arts. I went to an art college. So that was basically my foundation in fine art. And then I graduated with a bachelor's in interior design. So I'm a designer and an artist. And along the way, I found my voice in mixed media, because that's where I kind of gravitated towards mixed media. So that's why.
So are you normally doing, beautiful full-scale murals like this, or do you usually do smaller stuff?
No, I do a lot of small-scale art too. I do I do a lot of furniture that I refurbish. So basically, most of my art will be refurbished. There'll be a little bit of old, a little bit of new in it. I like mixing the vintage with the new. I like mixing different media. So in fact, I do a lot of smaller works, and this is probably my largest work to date, because it's like the entire wall, which is almost 200 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
So about I'm curious, like all these different elements to this, did you like find them someplace special, or did you create them all, or like where did you?
No. So basically, this piece is all about mixing the old with the new. Like I said, what I'm passionate about. So most of it is like found objects that we have found from around the community. And since this mural depicts the heritage of this town, we wanted to get items that we found from around town. So basically, a lot of it is pottery and found objects that are broken up. And that's what a mosaic is usually. You break up things, you kind of get things from here and then put them together to create one piece. So some of them are pieces that are broken, some of them are tiles that we purchased from here and there. So like I said, the new with the old. So like, for example, this thing here was probably like a vase or something like that, and I took that out of there. So they are found objects. And then some of them are created, like these tiles here. It's created with from clay, and we bake them. So these are actually handmade tiles. So there's a bunch of items that are all mixed, old and new.
So I'm just curious, for on here, is there any like specific small details that you're really proud of, or like little like Easter eggs that you hid or something like that? Like,
so I think the first detail that I'm really, like you said, proud of, or something that I would like to point out to, are the quotes that you see on all of the branches here. So if you want to start from there, from our roots we bloom together, right? So things like that. These quotes are actually affirmations, and I want them to be like part of the community, like quotes that uplift, that give a positive vibe to people, inspire, uplift, and that kind of thing. So, and they're also tied back to like what I'm trying to represent in this mural, which will come later there. So everything will be a representation of something symbolic there. For instance, let's see about knowledge. Yeah. Where knowledge thrives, futures flourish, right? So this is going to tie back to the school and schooling district here and everything. So things like that. Quotes are, I think, very important in this tree, because this is almost, it's not just a botanical representation of something, but it is like a living archive of, the history and then the future as well.
and this is a little bit random, but what is your favorite, like, because I see that you have a lot of stuff that you like broke up and put on here. Which is your favorite one that's on there?
That's really hard because there's so many here. Yeah, I would think that this is really special because I spent a lot of time creating this. These, like you said, these are different pieces of items from various different pieces that I put together. This was different, this was different. This was part of a bowl, this was by itself, this was again part of some flower. So it was like combining 10 different items into this one vignette here, if you so to say, So I mean, there's plenty of them, but well, that was something I really worked on hard on. And one of the reasons is what I wanted to show with the nest here is like home, right? So that signifies a home, doesn't it? It's a symbolic representation of home and how, the roots, and then from there, that's where the children grow up and they go out in the world, right? So that's the depiction of the home there.
All right, I think this is my last question. So if you were able to talk to every person that got to see this, what's the one thing that you would tell all of them?
So basically, this mural represents resilience, history, and growth. So just to tell you, it's not even here right now, but there's a title to this mural, and the title is From Roots to Rails. The heritage and the history of the town, and the rails represent the Pennsylvania Railroad, the system that's down here in Berwyn, right? And that's the thing that I think kind of made the town move forward with growth and everything, right? So that really connected everything and made the town grow.
Okay, well, thank you, Mattina, so much for your time and for sharing your beautiful work with us. Absolutely. Can't wait to see it finished. Thank you so much.